I just went from making a very normie walking video to coming by Ross, and I think I got a live one. The problem is, it was causing a scene. It's in a woman, and it was causing a scene in the Ross. So the security guard was walking her out, and it went to the store next door. So he's like shadowing her, and I was kind of, you know, lingering, looking around. Security guard's looking at me like, what the fuck do you want? He didn't say that, but, you know, and I'm like, oh, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Go with it. I'll take over, sir. This is what I do. So, yeah, I don't know. I just kept on walking, and it was right over here. She was right over here. I might just walk by it again. Why not? I'm doing something. Yeah, I mean, usually, like, everyone tries to get away, and I was just, like, kind of lingering around the scene, waiting to see if she would go a certain one way or another up the street. But the security guy was kind of shadowing her, as he should, because he probably figured, you know, she's maybe gonna do something at the store next door. But yeah, I just felt weird standing there. You can't tell, like, how you supposed to explain it to normal people. It's like that day I had that one and that lady that was fucking taunting me, but I'm in a crowd full of people, like, tailing her up the street, and it's like she wasn't stopping, wasn't responding to any of the things I was doing. They're laughing at me. But I'm thinking, well, what do I do? Do I fucking follow this woman home? Usually it's not like that, you know? So I'm like, you know, what do you do? Because, like, to anyone else in the area looking at me, I'm just like some psycho following a woman home, muttering things at her. Is, you know, what do you do, man? So it was right over here. Came out of the door here, and it doesn't look like she's up that way. And then she came over and was about to go into this. So she went into the store. Security guard followed her in there, and now I don't see her anywhere. I mean, I can't be sure, of course. I didn't get a chance to interact, but I would bet almost anything, you know, by looking at the behavior. She's screaming at the door, and, you know, the whole thing with the fist, and it was like fucking 3 minutes ago. I should have waited at the corner. I did this again. I did the same thing recently, where someone across the street, and I just had to, you know, I was doing my day, and it's always when I'm not ready for it. You know, as you know, if you visited me here, I go out like looking for this kind of thing, and past few times it's dropped on my lap. It was just awkward, you know. Sometimes it's hard, because it's anyone else. But you just look like, what? Like, why you bother? Why do you want to deal with this person? What are you doing? Especially when they had the security guard like following her right there. But I don't think she made it up there, because people would be. She was loud, just screaming. I don't know. That sucks, right? Yeah, no, she didn't make it up here. Is she back in the store? Yeah, there's no way. Well, I don't know. I shouldn't say there's no way. I don't know. She was pretty animated. But I, you know, the way she was acting, I think there would be people looking over here. She couldn't have got out of it. Maybe she went back into. I'm going to walk by the store again. We'll just take a little walk by again, just to see. I should have stuck around, but I just felt weird because the guy, you know, security guard, was trying to do his thing, and I'm just like standing on the curb. And the other thing too, it's like if I start filming, then he's like, "Why the fuck are you filming me dealing with this?" You know, you can't. You just, you know, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Let's see what happens up here. Maybe she went back in. She was pretty violent though, so I don't know. That sucks. It's too bad. These people passing here. It's hard to talk about this stuff when I got people all around me. No, I guess I fucking blew it. I blew it, lads. And it's been dry. You know, I haven't seen a lot. This is a demon hangout, actually. A lot of possessed people gravitate toward this little spot right here. I don't know why. I talked about this area before. They sit on here, they lay on here. It's like a battery charger for possessed people. Yeah, well, what we're gonna do. Shouldn't have made it like that far up the street and down one of those. She must have gone back into one of these stores and maybe they subdued her or called the cops. I don't know. That was, yeah, security. I know the security guy, he's cool. I see him all the time. Fuck. She didn't come up this way because I was standing up here at the corner. And, I don't know where she could have disappeared to. Again, I can't be sure unless I get near them, but I would for sure bet that there was one in there. And the one I passed by that was across the street too, it was a guy just walking down the street. He's throwing his hands and yelling and, you know, the regular shit. And yeah, there's no way she came up here. I guess that's it. I fucked up. Fuck me. I want you to kick this ass. I want you to kick this ass for a man. Artie Bumpkin, Polymer Records. I like using timely references like that. Things that'll carbon date me to the mid to early 1980s. You know. Oh well. Now what do you do with this? This is a waste of time, I guess. It's not like I'm probably the only one that does this kind of stuff around here. I'm assuming, and I mean I'm not super successful at it. I've had a couple successes, but at the very least, I like to interact with them, and I can sometimes. You know, I have videos of kind of having the thing get out of them. There used to be an idea in the Catholic Church still looks at it this way too, and the cases they get involved with, where someone that's possessed, it's a long-term thing. Like they get into people and manifest over a long period of time, maybe weeks, maybe months. These things, this new thing, they go from person to person. It just jumps around. It jumps around. And this is what me and Craig first started encountering in Chinatown, 2017. They would be saying the same exact thing. Like one guy, you ever see that Denzel Washington movie about the possession thing? Where, was Azazel? Forget the name of that movie. But yeah, it's like that now. It's like that. We've never seen anything like this before. Everybody's walking, I'm walking. Yeah, I've never seen anyone talk about this kind of thing until recently. This is like a new development, which may be related to all the other stuff that started kicking off, you know, around, I don't know, 2016. For me, it was 2017, but the people I see online that talk about similar things, it was when they had some kind of awakening to the spiritual war. When the Bible says too, when you go to God, He removes the veil or lifts the veil. I forget the exact quote, but and then a few lines after that is when they talk about the God of this world clouding the minds of those who don't believe. Well, the god of this world is Satan. And he clouds the minds of those who don't believe. Those are robots. You know, that's what all that is. Now, if I didn't have the experience and I read that, it just wouldn't, you know, it would just be regular God talk. Like, God says this and that. But a lot of these things we contextualize now with the lenses that we have now. You read some of that stuff and it's like, I know what that is. I know exactly what that is. And I've had people tell me like I couldn't do this kind of stuff, but I don't know. If I'm not supposed to do this, then why did God bring this to me? You know, why did he put me in this position in 2017? You know, when this first started happening to me and my friend, actually, you know what? It's happening to my friend. I just happened to be around and I got pulled into the whole thing. It was one of the things that set me to getting involved in the spiritual war. Ultimately, it led to a point where I was on my knees, just telling God, you know, I'm sorry. You know, I'm sorry I ignored you for so long. I'm sorry I forgot, you know. And he's cool about it, because he knows you're going to turn away from him. This world is designed for that. The whole job here, 24/7, 7 days a week, 365, is to get you away from God. To do everything to turn you away from learning about your divinity and the Father. So I was really into it when I was a kid. I've talked about before how I used to do math in my mind. Math inside my mind. Yeah, I was really into it. And then things happen, you know, that make you think, well, that must be all bullshit, you know, because if, you know, this is the same selfish kind of things everybody thinks. Bad things happen to you, and then you're like, well, that can't be real, because if that's real, why did I have to endure all this fucking shit? And then, and that carried on until I became an adult. And I just always looked at it like, oh, they're just stories, you know, the stories that are there to keep you controlled. And organized religion very much is still that. Organized religion is a guy in a dress telling you, oh, you want to learn about God? You want to learn about your divinity? Let me tell you about it. It's some mortal getting in between you and God, telling you what you have to do to have a relationship with him. That's why I can't stand most Christians. They're all about that. They're all about these rules. You have to do this, you have to do that, you have to know this, you have to... Like that guy that day I was talking about is just making fun of people opening the Bible. As I often do, you know, I just randomly open it. And many times, it'll start talking to me, like it'll address what's going on with me. It's really weird. I did a video about it called The Bible Speaks a couple of years ago, explaining this sort of phenomenon. It's strange. It's like every time I had something that was troubling me or something, I would just crack it and it would talk to me. And he was making fun of that. This guy, like, these people think they can just open the Bible and get something out. You can't do that. That's not how. And there was another lady in the comments saying that was divination, you know, to do that, to open the Bible and start reading from it randomly. It was divination. It was evil. Christians are so psyched to tell you you're going to hell. That's all they fucking talk about. Fucking sick people. A lot of them are really sick people. Well, a lot of them, you know, the real hardcore ones, a lot of them are former addicts, you know. So in their mind, right, if you don't do everything right, exactly what they say, memorize these scriptures and pray this way and do this and that, if you don't do it right, they're going to end up back at the train station sucking dick. In their mind, you know. So they're very, very hard line about it. You know, it's like, well, I've never been to AA. I went with an ex-girlfriend actually to a meeting once, and yeah, that's not a fucking cult or anything. Jesus, it was so weird. The thing is, too, it's funny because there's most of the people there, everyone in her circle were former addicts, you know. And so they don't drink, they don't do like drugs or anything like that. And then when there would be a break, everyone would run outside and they would have these like small kitchen garbages for ashtrays. People would smoke a pack standing there, and then everyone would go up for coffee after and be jamming the fucking caffeine. Yeah, it's funny. I know what that's like though. Like when you quit something bad, you think, well, I'm not doing that anymore. So, I can do Percocet because that comes from a doctor. That's not cocaine. You know what I mean? It's like you're always going to have something like that. I've been very lucky that I'm not messing around with drugs anymore. Because, man, what a quality of life kind of upgrade from being trapped in that hell. And yeah, there's some fun times. Of course, it's fun. You wouldn't be doing it in the first place. It wasn't fun. But the fun days go from being half the week to only one of the days to a couple hours here and there, and the rest of it's a fucking nightmare. You end up in places that you would never normally be, hanging around with people you would never hang around with at times of the night or early morning when you would never normally be out. That's what drugs do to you. Starts out fun and ends up anything but. But yeah, so there's a lot of former addicts in that AA thing, and they all turn into these hardcore Christians. God does not have any rules. Terms and conditions, contracts, that's for Satan. He has contracts. He has terms and conditions. God has no terms and conditions. God has no fucking contracts. He loves you. He wants you to be in his life. He's not going to tell you to learn certain scriptures and pray this way and go to that, before he'll talk to you. And that's what some of these people think. And it's just, it sucks because what they do is they turn normal people away from it. Like people that might be interested in learning about it, it makes them flee from it. It kept me away from it for a long time too. Yeah, just, you don't need anybody to have a relationship with the Lord. He's sitting there. He wants to talk to you. He's right there. Just talk to him. Just talk to him. Just if you're home alone, whatever you want to walk around, talk out loud, talk in your head, do whatever you want to do. Just get in touch with him. Because he's waiting to hear from you. He really wants to hear from you. It would make your life and his life much better. Until next time, don't blame the teacher, blame the school. Nice lights in the morning.
Good morning.
When did these, what were they originally for? Like what, was this Christmas time these came in, I think?
Oh, I'm not too
They
sure.
look cool.
But
And they
it's
just kind of
always
left
here
them
now,
there.
yeah. It's over there too.
Yeah.
There's the